Welcome. Well, you're at home with Jim and Joy, and you are an important part of our EWTN family. And we are delighted that you have welcomed us into your home. Today, it's Monday, and we are here. We are live. We would love to hear from you with your comments or your questions. Please give us a jingle at 1-800-221-9460. If you are calling and you are outside North America, you can reach us at 205-271-2980. And you can always send us an email with a question or a comment to jimandjoy@ewtn.com and check us out on Facebook. Well, the question for today's show is this. Now, how may we seize the opportunity provided by the renewed focus of Roe versus Wade to promote and educate others on the sanctity of life and building a new culture of life?
Yeah.
And unless you have your head stuck in the sand and you don't know what is going on, and you're hearing it in the media, maybe you're having conversations with family and friends, coworkers, there's a big buzz in the air, and we want to know what we can do to help you, to promote the culture of life, to equip you, and to be a blessing in that way.
It's an opportunity.
It is an opportunity.
But Joe, we had a wonderful weekend, and we're going to a graduation tonight.
Yes.
Our grandson Nathan
Our
Wright
first,
is
our
graduating.
first grandson, Nathan. Yeah. We've had 3 other granddaughters that have graduated, but he is the grandson. Yeah. He is Rebecca and Nathan's son. Rebecca's one of our twins, and so he's the older brother of 8. Yeah. And he's graduating.
Graduating tonight, and so we had a little kind of like pre-gathering, nice Italian meal at our house. And those kids can eat. They love to eat,
love to cook
and you
for the
love to
Wrights.
feed them. But
Yes.
you set a beautiful table beforehand.
Yes,
It looked
was
absolutely
fun.
gorgeous, as you always do. You always say, "Do you like my table?" And it's there. And I wish we could show images of all the plates full, little cake that we picked up for Nathan, and just a great time. And I know so many of you going through this at this point in time, graduations.
Right, so many graduations, and I said to Nathan, and life happens in the blink of an eye. We all think we have so much time. But I remember when his mother brought him to our house after he was born. It was his first outing. And so he came to our house. And there he was, this little baby, so beautiful. And now he's leaving. Like, he's going to a college, and he's going to be playing football. So he graduates tonight. Yeah. And then in a week, he's gone. I mean, they bought him and they own him. And he's gone. He has to do summer football camp. And it happens that fast, doesn't it? Yeah. And we think, I remember experiencing that with my children, and now, as we're getting older, it's happening to our grandchildren. And we're ever so grateful. He's a fine, young, holy man of God, and we're very proud of him.
Parents really did it right, especially the father. He wanted to know about what Catholic church is there, what church will he be attending. He investigated that whole thing. Is there a campus ministry? There is. There's a Newman Center, I believe it is. And so he had his priorities in order, and we have to do that because, our kids go away sometimes off to college. You don't even know who they are after 1 year. So he's going to be surrounded by strong, people, Catholic people and Christian people. And so hopefully he and all others who are graduating and going off to college will have a wonderful experience and grow in faith and in the Lord. So we're going to take a break at this point. Plenty more to come. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Welcome back. Well, remember today we're taking your comments and your questions on our show because we're here and we're live. Please give us a jingle at 1-800-221-9460. If you are calling and you are outside North America, you could reach us at 205-271-2980. You can always send us an email with a question or a comment to jimandjoy@ewtn.com and check us out on Facebook. So this was the question out there. How may we seize the opportunity provided by the renewed focus on Roe versus Wade to promote and educate others on the sanctity of life and building a new culture of life. And that, the Supreme Court will be coming out with their decision. Hopefully it will be before the end of June. It could happen any day now. And so there's a big media explosion about it. Are they going to overturn it? Will it go back to the states? What is going to happen? Were we wrong? Was that a wrong law? Is abortion wrong? Is abortion right? And so all these conversations are happening. But first thing we want to say, if you are out there and you are a post-abortive woman, meaning you were a woman or a man who in your past made the poor life choice to choose abortion, and maybe all of this is bringing up stuff inside of you, we want you to go to optionline.org for healing, for hope, because as many people say, this is like tearing our country apart. It's separating us. Well, maybe this could be a prime moment for us to heal as a nation. We've had bad laws in the past before, and we've come a way of healing. And so we pray that that happens. We pray that a greater good comes out of this evil that has been happening in our land for over 50 years, and to the demise of over 63 million babies.
Yeah, almost 50 years. Steve Carlin's with us, campaign director for 40 Days for Life, and a published author, including the book What to Say When, website 40daysforlife.com. Steve, are you there?
I am here. Thanks for having me today.
I think we got two of your books, What to Say When and When We Begin to Fight, or Now We Begin to Fight. So just thinking about this question, is this an opportunity now, with all the conversation going on, for conversations, with people who are on the other side of it, possibly, but with our own family members, with our own children. And I'm hearing from people, one person who's a school teacher in a Catholic school, and she said, we're talking about current events, abortion comes up, we're speaking about Roe versus Wade, and what is it? And then we have, Catholic students that are overall pro-life, but they believe in exceptions, and what do I do? What do I say? So just your thoughts on this time and some things we need to be doing as a pro-life people of life.
Well, I think opportunity is the exact right word, because if you take a look at the state of abortion in America, the fact that there are 1 million children lost every year to abortion, the most frequently performed surgery in the country, leading cause of death in our country, it would be sort of easy to look at those facts and figures and conclude that, maybe we've lost the debate over abortion. But in reality, it's not so much that we've lost the debate over abortion, it's that we've never had a meaningful opportunity to have a discussion about it. And this is that opportunity. And we see a great need for community outreach and for discussion and for this to be talked about. People are probably seeing the polls that the media are touting right now, saying, a majority of Americans oppose overturning Roe v. Wade. What those breathless news reports from the secular media aren't sharing is that a dramatic majority of Americans don't really know what Roe v. Wade is or what overturning it does. And this is that opportunity to share the truth. The other side isn't going to talk about it. We've got to be ready and able to talk about it as well.
Yes. And it's so basic, Roe versus Wade, what is Roe versus Wade? What exactly does it say? And then we hear about Doe versus Bolton. Nobody even knows Doe versus Bolton, but that's attached to Roe versus Wade and really says under certain circumstances and situations you can abort a child 7, 8 through the time of birth for almost any reason that they give. But through 24 weeks, there's no reason needed. After that, are you saying that there's abortion through all 9 months, federalized? Yeah, we're not saying that. It is that. These kind of things, Steve, is what I'm talking about. Are we aware of this as a pro-life people? Do we understand the realities of Roe versus Wade and what it means and what it does? Do we understand some 63 million babies have been aborted? And sometimes we just need to take the word abortion out in certain circumstances and say killed. And they're not just lost, they didn't just go away, they didn't just die, they were killed. Very hard thing to say because we're always sensitive to those that have been involved in abortion, like Joy started the show, to say, hey, there's hope, there's healing. This is not just a personal sin, it's a national sin and tragedy. Other thoughts about the conversation, conversation with our own family members, our own children, or conversations with those on the opposing side, expectations, preparing ourselves spiritually for the battle, what we can expect in the conversations, different degrees kind of people and how they approach things. Your thoughts?
I think this is a great opportunity as well to talk about the resources that are available for women who are facing crisis pregnancies. As you well know, I've done, again, interviews with media who are far less informed than you, who are asking these very basic questions, like if Roe v. Wade is overturned, where will women go? What will they do if they face a crisis pregnancy center? And the fact of the matter is that we as a pro-life movement are not caught unprepared. There's no great catch-up that we need to play to get ready here. We see thousands of pregnancy health centers all across this country that are ready and willing and able and equipped to help women who find themselves in crisis. The services that they offer are far more comprehensive than what you're going to get at Planned Parenthood. And so that question, where are these women going to go? We should answer that with excitement and with enthusiasm and with pride in how the Lord is working through his people to care for these women and for these children and to help these families who are in need. It's a really, I think, exciting moment.
Yeah. Well, this is why we always mention, among other organizations and groups, Option Line. Optionline.org. So we're saying that now. If you're thinking about an abortion, go to optionline.org. If you've had an abortion, Option Line. Why are you saying that? Because all you do is put in your zip code, and it will take you to those places that do post-abortion healing, or if you need a free pregnancy test, you need to talk things through, you need an ultrasound. And so, yeah, we need to say, here's how you find the help that you need. And this is going to become a greater and greater issue, like you were saying, Joy, earlier in the show, because the conversation's going on and on and on. People are going to look again at what they've done, 63 million abortions. Well, okay, now I feel pretty guilty about that. I thought it was okay. The United States said it was okay. And now I'm feeling guilty. Where do I go? Who speaks to me? And do I have to be religious to go and speak about this? Can I say I don't believe in God and somebody will still help me because I have guilt and I have shame? How do I get healed up? So these issues are just absolutely critical. Steve, thank you so much for being with us today. This is When We Begin to Fight and What to Say When by Steve Carlin and Scott Carney, both on EWTNRC.com. God bless you, brother. Keep up your great work.
Thank you. You too. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, it is true when people say, well, now what are women going to do in an unplanned pregnancy or an unexpected pregnancy? Well, guess what, family? There are 2,700 pregnancy help centers from coast to coast. And so if there's a girl in your state where maybe you have a trigger law, meaning that if the Supreme Court rules to turn it back to the states to say this was not a good law on a federal level, it needs to go back to the states and let the states decide. We'll say, well, where is a girl who's in a crisis pregnancy, where is she gonna go? Well, there are pregnancy help centers just in every state. They're there. And so where they're gonna find out if they are pregnant, if they need an ultrasound. Some do STDs. We also have parenting classes. We teach sexual integrity in ways to change our ways to say, maybe I was seeing myself as a sexual object and I wasn't acknowledging my true dignity, value, and worth as a human being. And maybe I want to change my behavior because this has gotten me a broken relationship, an unplanned pregnancy, maybe a sexually transmitted disease, and maybe I'm going to take the greatest thing that came from this relationship is the baby, and I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to live better, and I'm going to love better.
Okay, so
and they're out there.
One of the keys is there is help all over the place. But the vast majority of people don't know where to get the help.
Right.
And so that's why we're saying we need this conversation for us who are pro-life, because what do you say to somebody? You get a phone call from this state, that state. Well, there are help places there. Well, how do I find them? What do I do? And so we got the helpline number up. You can just text that 313131, or go to optionline.org, and they will tell you where all these places are for post-abortion healing, or you're in a crisis pregnancy. You need some free services regarding ultrasound and so on. But we need to be equipped because we're saying, oh, there's plenty of help and it's all over the place. But people are like, I have no idea. I'm not traveling in those circles.
Right.
So we need to be equipped not only to make the case, but to say, here's all the help, and I can help you get the help. And so that's why we're doing shows like this.
Right, and also at optionline.org, if you've had an abortion in your past and this is painful for you and you want to get healing in that, and you said, do I have to be a Christian to participate in that? No, you don't. There is help and healing for you. It's a journey that you're going to take, and it's beautiful because it's truth that's going to come inside of you to heal your broken soul.
So give us a call. We want to hear from you. What are you hearing? What's going on in your family? Is it a whole family regarding life? Are there divisions there? Are there people who you always thought were pro-life that are saying, now's the time for contraception? If this is going to be, Roe versus Wade is going to fall, then you should be, Catholics are saying this. This is the time for contraception. You know, as never before. Really? Is that the answer, contraception? Is it connected with abortion? What do we believe as Christian people? I mean, is that the answer? So Joe, let's take this comment.
I think one of the most important things that we can do going forward is to influence parishes to truly become community centers once again, like they had been in the past. Communities will support families in need, both within and outside the church. Disconnected parishioners lack the necessary strength. And this is from Aaron on Instagram. And the deal with that is there are parishes that support and you know, they are a blessing to pregnancy medical centers there. I get phone calls from women who said, my priest referred me to you, or the church secretary referred me to you because this is my situation. So they're an extension to the church. The church can't do ultrasounds, you know, and we have equipment, although the Knights of Columbus in this nation have provided over 1,000 ultrasound machines to pregnancy centers all throughout this country. So like Steve said, we don't have to be surprised. We've already prepared. We're ready for the catch. We're ready for the catch of the wounded. We're ready for the catch to say, abortion isn't your only option. So come and let us help you take this journey to heal you and choose life, or to place this baby up for adoption and to work legislatively to drop the prices of adoption so ordinary parents can adopt the babies at not such a high-end price.
Every parish, in my view, should have in their bulletin, pregnant, need help, post-abortion healing, need help, here's the number, call, confidential. I mean, we need to speak about this, but we're afraid to speak about it. We don't want to hurt anybody who's had an abortion. They're hurt already. The women who've had abortions, the guys who paid for them, grandma and grandpa who paid for it, they're hurting. So we need to say, here's healing resources. This is a reality. We all know it's a reality. You don't have 63 million abortions and it hasn't touched your family. You just may not know it. And so how do we do that? Can we have a woman come in for about 1 minute and say, I just want you to know, I regret my abortion. I can understand, though I don't agree, how somebody might have an abortion in a country that says, you know, it's a constitutional right and so on. But it didn't help my life. It created more problems. If you need help, you want to talk about this in a confidential setting and so on, we need to do that as a church instead of sticking our heads in the sand. And this is the time to do it. This is the conversation. We don't know what's going to happen with Roe versus Wade, how that's going to go down and not go down. But this conversation is only going to get more intense in the 50 states. And we need to be spiritually fortified. We need to guard our hearts. We need to be ready. We need to find out what our children and grandchildren are being taught or what they believe. And we need to understand that we don't have to be so much on the defensive. We have to be on the offensive. They should be on the defensive. They have to justify killing. They have to justify wounding women. All we have to say is, our philosophy, our view, everybody lives. Everybody lives. We're the most tolerant people on the face of the earth. Everybody lives from the moment of conception through natural death. They have to defend the taking of innocent human life and trying to live with that. So this is important. We're going to continue to talk about this. There's so many resources, you know, for you. I think of, you know, Pro-Life Weekly in particular with Prudence and all that EWTN's doing with the pro-life movement to help equip you for the work of the ministry and being a people of life. Go to EWTN.com/pro-life. We'll be right back. Plenty more to come. Don't go away.
Welcome back. Well, before we wrap up today's show, we're going to go to Rome to check in with Joan Lewis. Now, Joan, what were you up to this past week?
Well, hi, Jim and Joy. It is so good to be with you here today. As you know, I just got back from Warsaw, Poland, where I attended an amazing symposium on St. John Paul's natural law legacy and international human rights legacy. And I was very honored to have been invited to give the keynote address at the opening dinner. Now, I was asked to focus on my years at the Vatican and John Paul the man, his humanity, his humor, and our encounters. And I called my talk, "I Made Cookies for a Saint," and you can imagine the reaction to that title. Now, this was organized, co-sponsored, if you will, by Ave Maria Law School in Florida and the Cardinal Stefan Wyszyński University in Warsaw. Very eminent speakers. You can't even imagine there were 40 or 50 in these days. And we had two eminences. We had a Cardinal Kazimierz Nitsch, the Archbishop of Warsaw, and Cardinal Wilhelm Eich of Utrecht. And he spoke on human rights in a secularized society. And we also had Archbishop Stankiewicz of Riga, Latvia, an absolutely riveting speaker. Now, as I listened to all the talks each day, I just could see this beautiful, colorful tapestry being formed. But the common thread, of course, was Pope St. John Paul and his teaching on human rights, on the protection of life, on natural law, and on human dignity. And by the way, given the Supreme Court leak recently on the possibility of overturning Roe v. Wade, many, many topics were very timely. Now, some of the issues included constitutional law, religious freedom and secularity, natural law in contemporary understanding of international human rights, and much, much more. But a common thread to almost all of the talks was human dignity. One speaker said, and this is incredible, he said, over time, what was not allowed in law because of human rights, so abortion, euthanasia, eventually became allowed and enshrined in law in the name of human dignity. I mean, that doesn't even make any sense. Now, another speaker said, the world needs active protagonists in the culture of life and human dignity, because human dignity is the founding principle of human life. And yet another speaker stressed the need for a positive change in the human rights climate towards freedom of speech, of practice, and of religion. And other speakers yet noted, there were quite a number that spoke of this, how constitutions over the time have changed from protecting absolute rights to watering them down or even to asking for new rights. So a lot of stuff to say, but I do have to tell you, my final day in Warsaw was spent at a Franciscan school about a half an hour outside of the city, run by the Franciscan Sisters Servants of the Cross, and their charism is caring for blind children. And what was so exceptional, one of the sisters had brought several blind children in from Ukraine. So my stay was amazing, but I do have to get back to Warsaw, this time as a tourist. But on that note, back to you.
Joan, what a beautiful sharing. You look so well, and thank you for your contribution in building a new culture of life. Thank you for reminding us of the incredible Catholic, intellectual, academic tradition that promotes life. As John Paul would always say, the pro-life movement and what we're doing as a Christian people, we are proposing life. Everyone lives. We propose life. We propose love, sacrificial love, This is our time. Now is the hour. God's calling you to be alive at this time to help equip your family and your children to propose, not impose, it's their decision, but to propose life. Life, marriage, and the family will prevail. Keep it on EWTN. You're an important part of this EWTN family. You're never alone. You're always at home with Jim and Joy. Bye now.